Hello everybody, my name's Diana Thornton and I'm from Oxshott, so I'm a local, so that's the perspective that I'm going to be bringing today, sort of local change and what we've done there. So a couple of years ago, I was feeling very concerned about the environment and didn't know what to do, so set up, in my naivety, an organisation called Oxshott Net Zero. And we didn't know what we were doing. We're a very small group. There's only about 3 or 4 of us as core members. But kind of floundering around at first, one of our early decisions was that because we are a small community, we would focus very strongly on personal relationships. So we started off by inviting all of the kind of great and the good of Oxshott. So, you know, we invited people from the local schools, from the Brownies and the, you know, the Scouts, and we invited, well, you can imagine, you know, all of the church, all of these different organisations to come and to meet us. We kind of offered a coffee morning. It was all very, you know, low key. And from that, we have forged a few key relationships. And that is still our way of operating, that we've formed these key friendships, actually, and relationships, and we work in that way. So we've got a very good relationship with the church, and we've got a really good relationship with a local prep school. And that has actually been key for us, because obviously starting off, just as bods who are concerned, you know, we hadn't got a bank account at first. We got no grants. We've had some since, but we didn't at first. We didn't know what we were doing. So getting support from somewhere has been really important for us. So the next thing that we worked out was that we didn't have to work everything out for ourselves, that actually there were already larger charitable bodies that we could go to who had structures that we could take on and deliver locally. So we are using plastic free. It's from Surfers Against Sewage. So we've got a plastic free Oxshott project running. And the great thing about that is that you just follow their steps. And then it's not you going and knocking on the door of the school or going and speaking to somebody and saying, it'd be really nice if you didn't use as much plastic, you know, little old me who happens to think this. Suddenly you're going in, first of all, you've got yourself a name. I'm here from Oxshott Net Zero to talk to you about plastic-free Oxshott. We're trying as a community to reduce our plastic. Would you like to be involved and take part? So suddenly you've gone from being just a concerned person to somebody with kind of labels, which really, really helps in going in and talking to people. So we've got plastic-free Oxshott running. We've got the Blue Hearts grass verges, which we've just done a tiny bit about that, and I'll explain what that is. So you can apply to Surrey County Council to change their mowing routine for grass verges so that you then either sow wildflower seeds or put plug plants in. So then you can increase biodiversity. So again, that's a kind of wider project that we've latched onto. Is there another one? What else do we do? Yeah, and then the big one that we've really got involved with is Take the Jump. So this is another national organisation. It's based on research, which is really helpful because there's so much advice out there about what you can do to change your behaviour as an individual. This is based on research, and all of these shifts that they encourage people to do are based on research for what would have the most impact to reduce greenhouse gases. Now, the great thing about Take the Jump is that they run ambassador trainings. So again, we've latched on to a bigger organisation, and there were a couple of us who did their ambassador training. And I've gone out from that and from that ambassador training to do all sorts of talks and workshops and things in the local area. Now, I happen to be somebody who doesn't mind coming and standing in front of a group of people and speaking, but so that's what I've gone and done with it. But other people who've trained as ambassadors might just have a stall somewhere, you know, so I've done that as well. I've had a stall in libraries and things for people to come and look at. But that's a resource that we've keyed into. So I just want to circle back and talk a little bit about the relationships bit, because one of the big things that we've managed to do is set up a repair cafe in Oxshott. And we've done that very much as a collaboration with the local prep school. So when we first started, they gave us a free hall to use. We weren't having to pay for that. They even paid our insurance at first, which was hugely helpful for us at first when we got going. They did all the setting up and the clearing away. So when we didn't have many volunteers, you know, they were literally bods who were helping us. So we have found that this approach of being very personal and actually making friends with people has been very effective for us in a little village. How that would work up, I don't know. But certainly on this local level, it's worked extremely well for us. I can talk more. Oh yes, there's one other thing that I wanted to say about Take the Jump in terms of, because I know that you're thinking about all of this in terms of change. Here we go, here it is. One of the kind of slogans, if you like, of Take the Jump is less stuff, more joy. And the whole idea of that is that often we use consumerism and buying stuff as a way to kind of meet an inner need. We feel a hunger for something. And so we go and buy stuff. And Take the Jump is starting to do some work, which I'm involved with them, about actually shifting the internal stuff so that we start to do stuff that's more deeply satisfying than just going and buying some stuff which might make us feel better temporarily, but probably isn't going to last. So it's about reconnecting with, I don't know, the things that are ultimately satisfying. So that might be friendships and sport and arts and crafts and the natural world and all of these other things. So there's work going on there about inner change, and they're calling it inner climate work. So that's another sort of element of change in terms of the climate, that actually there's some inner work to go on as well as behavioural work. It's not that we just all need to change what we're doing, which is this bit of Take the Jump. It's also changing how we kind of feel inside a bit to be able to live in a slightly different way.